Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you're having the absolute best day, and I hope you're ready for me to make your day just a little bit worse. I want to talk about that snake that hates Markiplier. And that's such a simple way to put it, but really that's kind of how it all started, is this snake hates Markiplier. This story gets a lot deeper than that, and it kind of goes into a topic that I talk about all the time, which is the resurgence of a canceled content creator, but we'll get there. The story starts with a viral video on TikTok of this woman showing that her snake keeps attacking her screen whenever Markiplier comes on screen.
Seems fine. That's locked. Everything is good.
I really don't know what he's doing.
I mean, that might have been it. That might not have been.
I don't know what's going on right now. He's mad. What are you doing? I switched over to Charlie, and he doesn't really seem to care. He's kind of just doing his own thing.
Well, there's an anomaly. I've detected it. No.
Maybe he just didn't like that video. Here's a different one, okay?
Slippery ill I possibly could have gone on. That
No.
was almost certainly doom and death.
He still doesn't.
And
Oh my
look
god,
at
did
that.
you just strike at Mark?
So good.
Tofu! Don't do that to Mark. That was really rude.
Hey, wait, there's another sign. Oh, there.
I don't know what's happening. Why does he hate Mark so much? Why does he hate?
And granted, the videos are hilarious to think about, because why does the snake hate Markiplier? What did Markiplier do to the snake? Did Mark steal his wife and take the kids and run? What did Mark do? Now, I'm also not an expert on snake ownership, so I don't know how hatred or fear in a snake can come about. All I know is the snake cannot stand the director of Iron Lung. But it gets to a point. It gets to a point, right? I think all of us film something very silly about our pets, but to do it continuously, doing something that upsets them continuously and posting content about it is where it starts to get a little weird. And I'll draw this back to that one Chihuahua, or the other one that was toothless and got angry all the time. Because people got really upset really quick about those dogs, because I think with a dog and a cat, the average person can empathize better when it's not feeling the greatest or it's feeling upset. And with a snake, it's a little bit harder for the average person. So to a snake, when it's doing something add a photo of Markiplier, it's funny. But there are snake experts in these comments. That's crazy. Snake experts. I want to be one of those when I grow up. Snake experts in these comments that are like, hey, this animal is so overwhelmed. This animal is this isn't cool to continuously be stressing out your pet for content. And again, while I will say the concept of an animal just hating Markiplier is very funny, it's the opposite of that one dog who fell in love with Henry Cavill. It's the quite opposite of it. I can see where people are coming from, that it is undeniably problematic to continuously put your pet in harm's way just for some clicks on the internet. The first video got a couple million views. Take the win and run with it. But we're gonna get into why this is not what this creator is going to do. So a lot of people didn't know this, but they didn't really pay attention to who was posting it. They paid attention to the snake, Tofu, because Tofu is a very cute little snake. Yeah, and then people found out this was Tofu number 2. Yeah, you heard me right. This is Tofu number 2. First of all, what? What? And what happened to Tofu number 1? Oh, my friends, we're gonna get there. The content creator who posted all of these videos is Nicole Dean. And she was super popular back in the quarantine COVID area of YouTube. And she posted so many videos about her exotic pets and how many she had. And she had a lot of pets. I mean that. I mean that she had a lot of pets to the point people could track them on an Excel sheet. And I have the Excel sheet, so let's look over it. So the first part in blue is the animals in care by year and month. Now, this doesn't specifically say that if maybe she was fostering some of these pets, which would make sense. But in the year 2026, she supposedly has 58 creatures in her habitat. Which, unless you own a farm, I don't see a reason, or like you have a really, really big fish tank and you're trying to start your own aquarium, I don't quite understand why you would need 58 pets. But I digress. So, at least I will say this year she has gotten no pets in the year 2026 in this green part of the Excel file. But in the years 2016 and 2017, she obtained 40 and 42 pets. What? And then the year 2018, she obtained 26 more pets. So total obtained in the past 11 years has been 143 pets. I have had one pet for the past 11 years. Just one. I didn't even get a fish when I was in college. Why do you need 143 pets? And I do want to preface this by saying a lot of her content doesn't exactly explain if it is part of a foster system. She would just post videos like, meet my new axolotl, meet my new tarantula, meet my new snake. And so people would assume the animal is hers and there would be no further clarification, which I think if you have over time accumulated 143 pets, you should probably explain it. You should probably give the audience something at least. So now we're going pets passed by year and month. And out of 143, 33 of her pets had passed, which is, again, a significant amount of pets to have passed away in your care. And now with the percentage, it actually doesn't seem that bad. But 33 living live creatures is a lot of living live creatures to die in your care. It is so many. It's like if you were to work in a hospital and you have 143 patients and and you tell your clients, you tell your patients, okay, it's all right. I have a 76% survival rate with my patients. You wouldn't want to hear that. And yes, I will grant you, every pet that you have in your care is going to pass eventually, right? That's just how life is. That's the circle of life. But I just fear that 12 and 13 in 2017, 2018 is a lot. And are some of these bugs and they have a smaller lifespan? Sure, most likely. Why do you need 40?
Hi everyone, Editing Princess here. I'm gonna go ahead and actually use this time to include some of the reasons her pets had passed. So take this for what you will. The fact that there's heating issues and other stuff, yeah, take this for what you will. And the reason I'm including these is because these seem like mistakes that somebody who owns a lot of exotic pets should not be making. These seem like very rookie mistakes to owning these kind of pets, and I don't think somebody who owns so many of these should be making these kinds of mistakes.
Why do you need 26 pets? And then in 2016, why do you need that many? Anyway, let's get on to the pets rehomed by year and month. So again, this is about 33. So about the exact same amount total in the past 11 years have been rehomed. So let's redo that math actually. So if she's a doctor and 33 die and then another 33 are rehomed, so now your chance of survival in Taylor Dean's care is 53%. Okay, and again, I'm not too privy with a lot of the older content because a lot of the content is just like meet my new blank, meet my new this. So someone who's a better expert on this and maybe watched and delved into a lot of her old content where maybe it was like a sentence I missed when doing my research and said some of these were fosters, so they had to be rehomed. It makes sense. But all of the data and the research I shows that she bought these animals for the purpose of keeping them and ended up rehoming 33 of them. And now the scariest column to me, the pets declared MIA. What? MIA? How are your pets missing in action? Where do they go? What happens to them? What do you mean? So, total in the past 11 years, 20 of her pets have been declared MIA. So nobody knows where they are. She's never confirmed where they are. All the audience knows from watching her content is that these pets are gone. I would like to say, how do you lose your pets? Once again, I understand she has a lot of exotic pets. And, like, I know, for example, she's got tarantulas and she's got snakes and she's got whatever. It's not out of the realm of possibility that's like one of the other animals ate the tarantula. It's not out of the possibility that snake left. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Which is why you have to be so careful when you own these exotic creatures. Because not only are they your pets, they're your responsibility, and they're a living creature in your hands. And when you just let them run away, or you let them die, or you get them for a year or two, and you're like, I can't handle them anymore, somebody else take them. It's neglectful, it's abuse. But also, because these are living creatures, they infect the environment that's around them. So, for example, if the ones that were missing in action got out of their enclosure and, escaped into the real world, who knows what they could have done to the environment around them. It's why people don't like when people let bunnies go or when people let goldfish go into the wild, because it screws up the environment completely. So it's just a lot of complete and total neglect with the actual numbers part. But I mentioned earlier in this video that this is Tofu number 2. And Tofu number 1 was probably her biggest controversy, because you'll see. I'll tell you why it was her biggest controversy. So in 2019, a couple of DMs from Taylor and a group chat leaked that discussed an event that happened with Tofu number 1. So let's read these. From the first person, he is always anger. Taylor: OMG, be careful with the shots. I had to do that for Tofu and I pierced his lung because he twitched. He was also newborn and tiny, and I had to give him CPR with one hand while I was high and drove 20 minutes to the vet. He turned blue and rock solid, and I swore he had died, but I kept giving him CPR. They fixed him, obviously. I was so relieved, but yeah, Strange isn't as small, so it won't be as risky as obviously. Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean you were giving your pet any kind of medication while high? And I understand that drug addiction is a disease. I get it. I understand it. Don't be irresponsible then to have pets. Like, I can only give you grace for so long. I can only give you grace for the choices that you make while addicted to drugs for so long. Because why are you administering any kind of shot to a pet while high? And then, why are you driving him to the vet while high? You couldn't have called anybody around you to be like, hey, can you come take me and Tofu to the vet? I made a mistake. I'm high. I need to get him to the vet now. You couldn't have done that. So then in 2019, when all this stuff got leaked, she created a response to this. Let's read the response, or like what I can get of it, because the tweet is now deleted. So all we have is this like little screenshot from Twitter. And it said, DMs posted proof that I sent it by showing a completely different conversation. And in that conversation, we were discussing how hard it is to inject baby snakes. When I first got Tofu, he had the sniffles, and I took him to the vet who needed to administer shots to him, along with Kronos, who I thought had sniffles too. I said I was nervous to do shots on such a small snake, and they insisted I do it. I took them home and tried, and Tofu immediately started rolling in a defensive curl, and the area injected turned blue and hard. I got extremely scared and rushed to the vet, crying and pumping his heart area to make sure he stayed okay. When I got to the vet, a different one, they were livid that any other vets would suggest inject a snake this small. There are more DMs that prove this is my friends. So, in the DM I mentioned I was high while I was driving, which I did drive high for a long time. This happened with Tofu before I realized it was the night before my ex told Needle to use heroin, because I vividly remember calling out my ex crying while driving, and he was actually out buying the heroin right as it was happening. So I tracked my statement later in the DM saying I wasn't high, but that wasn't included in the video. And Tofu died, by the way. Just so you know, Tofu died. Along with the other 33 pets in her care. So I'm not gonna say it's her story isn't out of the realm of possibility, where it's possible that she's telling the truth. But with the 33 pets out of 143 that you own that passed away in your care, I am suspect to believe that there isn't some form of neglect going on here. I'm suspicious. But this goes into a couple of things that I talk about quite frequently on a lot of my channels. But the first one is new. I haven't talked about the distressing your pets for views before. And I think that is always a subject to be had, because I think it's hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around the fact that, like, animals are living creatures. And I think it's a topic of conversation that happens with the Amber Lynn videos quite a bit, because Amber continuously does stuff that startles and scares and puts her pets in harm's way. And pets don't have the same cognizance as humans do. They rely on the people that they're around for comfort and stability consistently, right? And of course, something is going to happen that upsets the pet. It's just how life is. It's not, you can't control every circumstance around you. And maybe one day you found out your snake doesn't like Markiplier because you were posting a video. Cool, that's funny. Maybe now I can take a video of it and be like, guys, my snake doesn't like Markiplier. And I won't do that to the snake again. It seems rather simple to me. But also, it seems like a pattern of behavior with creators when they, disappear for a little bit, they leave the internet, and they get out of the limelight. I mean, this creator never really stopped posting, but she stopped posting as much. And she now came back with a similar pet-related video, an exotic pet-related video, which is how she got her niche to begin with, and then participated in the exact same behaviors that got her canceled in the first place. It's the downfall and the rise to fame are coexist. They are the same entity. And as cute as I think it is for the snake to hate Markiplier, I think that with any other creator, maybe we could have given them the benefit of the doubt, that they just thought it was cute and fun and didn't know any better. But when you get an exotic pet like a snake, you really should do your research into how to properly care for the snake and how to properly assess its comfortability levels and how to go about it. I don't know anything about snakes, so I don't know what could happen to a snake if they're continuously distressed. I know what can happen to a dog if they're continuously distressed, or a cat. I don't know anything about snakes, so that's not my area of expertise, so I can't tell you what'll happen to the snake if you keep showing a Markiplier, but I can tell you that it's just uncomfortable to watch a snake in distress continuously, even if the source of the distress is rather silly. Anyway, that is it from me today, guys. I hope you all have the most amazing rest of your day. Please go outside, touch some grass, drink some water, pick up a rock, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!